Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to another episode of China Update, where we discuss leading political, economic, and geostrategic analysis on the world's number 2 economy. My name is Tony. Let's jump in. And first up, the United States and China are set to hold a third round of trade negotiations in Stockholm early next week, with U.S. Trade Secretary Scott Bessent confirming that he will meet with Chinese officials on Monday and Tuesday to discuss a likely extension of the current tariff truce, which expires on the 12th of August. Quote, "We'll be working out what is likely an extension then," end quote, Bessent said on US-based Fox News, adding that the talks may also broaden to include issues such as Beijing's continued purchasing of oil from sanctioned regimes in Russia and Iran. The Chinese side has confirmed that Vice Premier He Lifeng will travel to Sweden for the discussions, according to state media today. In a development viewed as an effort to create a more cooperative atmosphere ahead of the talks, China's State Administration for Market Regulation announced that it has suspended its antitrust investigation into DuPont China, an American multinational under scrutiny since last year. The Stockholm meeting takes place amid complex political tensions, including ongoing exit bans targeting American citizens in China. This week, U.S. officials confirmed that at least 2 naturalized American citizens, one a Wells Fargo employee and another from the United States Commerce Department, have been barred from leaving China. According to the US-based Washington Post and New York Times, the commerce employee had traveled to China to visit family and was detained for failing to disclose his US government employment on his visa application. However, officials familiar with the matter said Chinese state security's interest focused less on the visa issue and more on the man's past service in the US Army. The exit bans have also included a 7-year-old American boy and his mother, who have been held in China since last August after the boy's father, New York-based artist Gao Zhen, was detained for producing politically sensitive artwork. John Cram of the Duihua Foundation said he is currently tracking at least 30 active exit ban cases involving US citizens, with some estimates placing the figure closer to 50. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has raised the issue with Chinese officials. However, American negotiators appear determined not to allow these cases to derail broader strategic efforts, including these trade talks and a potential meeting between President Donald Trump and General Secretary Xi Jinping. Quote, "President Xi has invited me to China, and we're probably going to be doing that in the not-too-distant future," end quote, Trump said in the Oval Office earlier this week, adding that the US-China ties are, quote, "getting along very well," end quote. Trump administration officials continue to take a hard line on Beijing's strategic behavior. US NATO Ambassador Matthew Whitaker accused China of effectively subsidizing Russia's war efforts. Quote, "China thinks they're fighting a proxy war through Russia," end quote, Whitaker said on Fox Business, adding, quote, "they need to be called out." End quote. Meanwhile, in Washington, yesterday the administration unveiled its AI action plan, which includes initiatives aimed at competing directly with China in the global AI race. The plan emphasizes the development of open source and open weight models rooted in American values, noting their potential as geostrategic assets. This marks a renewed push to counter Chinese influence in emerging tech ecosystems, where firms like Alibaba's Q1 have gained traction among Western developers. Despite these tensions, both sides appear committed to continuing dialogue. The outcomes of the Stockholm meetings could shape the next phase of US-China economic relations, balancing cooperation on trade with escalating rivalry over security, technology, and global influence. Next up, a week of public outcry and viral videos showing discolored and foul-smelling tap water in parts of Hangzhou's Yuhang district have prompted an official investigation, a detailed government report, and the disciplining of several local officials. It's important to stress that the city of Hangzhou is no backwater. It is the capital of China's very wealthy Zhejiang province, part of the Yangtze River Delta, an hour or so from Shanghai, home to technology giants like Alibaba and DeepSeek. The incident, which began on the 16th of July, saw residents reporting yellow or cloudy water flowing from their taps, accompanied by claims of sewage contamination. In response, the Hangzhou municipal government launched a probe involving multiple municipal departments and experts at both the provincial and national levels. According to the official report, the root cause was not sewage, but an algae bloom in the local river. Prolonged heat and sunshine in early July accelerated algae growth, and subsequent rainfall runoff carried carried decomposing algae and their sulfur-containing byproducts into the water supply. These organic sulfur compounds, the report said, can create pungent smells even at low concentrations. In response to the water crisis, local water authorities switched to water sources and flushed the pipelines. However, the emergency measures cause rust and sediment from aging iron pipes to dislodge, further contributing to the yellowish and turbid tap water seen in videos circulating online. As of now, cleaning operations are being conducted across dozens of villages and communities in the wider Yuhang area. Meanwhile, the city's disciplinary bodies found multiple failings in how the situation was handled. 7 officials have been punished for dereliction of duty, including the deputy district mayor. Now, despite the findings, concerns remain. Online allegations that labs refused to test water samples from Hangzhou have cast doubt on the transparency of the official investigation and continue to fuel speculation among residents. I can confirm that I personally visited some of these locations and spoke to locals this week, and indeed the sense of skepticism is quite acute. If you want to be on top of the most up-to-date and biggest developments in China through grounded and sober and boots-on-the-ground analysis, consider subscribing to China Update. And if you're getting some value from today's episode, don't forget to hit the like button. For those who want to help keep the channel financially sustainable, I rely primarily on audience support. Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee links are also in the description below. And finally for today, China has officially launched a new national fusion energy firm, the China Fusion Energy Co. Limited, as part of its ambitious push to commercialize nuclear fusion, a technology often described as the holy grail of clean energy. The company, a wholly owned subsidiary of the state-run China National Nuclear Corp, CNNC, was inaugurated Tuesday in Shanghai. It aims to spearhead the country's long-term development of controllable nuclear fusion, aligning with China's strategic energy roadmap. The venture has raised 11.5 billion yuan, $1.6 billion in funding from a powerful group of state-backed investors. These include CNNC itself, PetroChina's Kunlun Capital, the National Green Development Fund, Zhejiang Zhenang Electric Power Co., and a Sichuan-based fusion firm. The new firm will follow a phased strategy, transitioning from experimental reactors to demonstration facilities and eventually building commercial state fusion power plants. Industry insiders see this as a major step towards integrating fusion into China's broader energy and climate goals. Liu Ye, party secretary of CNNC's Southwestern Institute of Physics, home to China's flagship artificial sun fusion project, has been appointed as the company's head. Zhejiang Zhenang, a utility firm with interests in both nuclear and renewable energy, emphasized fusion's strategic value for energy security and carbon neutrality. PetroChina, through Kunlun Capital, brings prior experience from fusion investments tied to the Chinese Academy of Sciences. The launch of China Fusion Energy Co. signals Beijing's growing determination to lead in next-generation energy technologies. It's important to stress how much of a big deal this is too. Senior advisor for technology analysis at Rand Corporation, Jimmy Goodrick, observed on this development this week, quote, "This is now China's Manhattan Project for fusion energy. Together, these initiatives represent a significant escalation in China's pursuit of fusion energy and advanced nuclear capabilities. The PRC fusion enterprise is no longer fragmented. It is a unified national project with substantial civilian and defense implications. China is not just accelerating, it is now positioned to compete directly with the United States in achieving first fusion grid connection and expanding its strategic deterrence simulation infrastructure." End quote. Okay, that is today's episode of China Update. Thank you so much everybody for watching. Have a good Thursday, and I will see you for another episode tomorrow.